You know, if anyone's here, I see two are waiting. Let me know if you can hear me. Um, what I really wanted to say first off is that, I don't fear public speaking. When I was like in college and stuff, I was able to, I was able to come out and, hey Claire, does that mean you can hear me? It sounds like, oh look at subtitles. I'll get used to this at some point. But yeah, I want to mention that, when I was in college, whenever we had a speech, like say speech class, hey Vina, hope you're doing well, speech class, or if we had to give like a group presentation in college, I was always the one that in the group that did the entire presentation. And hi there, Brett and Bethany. But hi Angie, and hey Wasabi, nice to see you. Hi JD. Bitty, hey there. I'll try to go on a little bit more because I know I keep on falling off what I'm saying. Shirella, always great to see you. Season's greetings back. But as I was saying in college, whenever we had group presentations, I was always the one that the group picked because I don't have a fear of public speaking. I could get up in front of a crowd of who knows how many people and it doesn't bother me at all. It's just completely fine for me to just get up in front of people and start talking. But for some strange reason, I always get really nervous before a live stream. And see, there's like 11 people here, 12 now. I could be standing in front of a group of 1,000 people and not have any problem, any stage fright at all. But going live with about 14 people or even 3 people makes me really, really nervous. Hi there. Of course, you can pay me in gum. I remember, a longtime fan. I remember that name. I definitely remember that name. Hey, my big friend, Big Kev there. You did finally make it to a thread. Much love back. Dan, hey KOC, do you like Cold Rush? I don't know what that is. So I guess I can't say that I do, but I can't say that I don't. But yeah, I don't know why. I always get so nervous getting close to doing this all the time, and then it's like my heart is all fluttery, and I don't get stage fright. I don't get cold feet with public speaking. But for some reason, this makes me nervous. Hey, Christine, hope you're doing good. I try to keep with the chat. I'm on painkillers from my son's Mastiff biting me yesterday. 7 stitches and 2 staples. Ouch. I hope. Wow. I've never had stitches before, actually. I think I've probably had injuries that should have been stitched, but I've never had stitches. I would probably, I have piercings, but, I would probably get really nervous if I ever had stitches. If they come anywhere near me with those things, I'd probably run away screaming. I've broken my wrist like 4 or 5 times, but I've never got painkillers for it. Hell, I've had kidney stones and they wouldn't give me painkillers for that. And I can tell you that I can't imagine any worse pain that I've ever felt that comes even close to that. It feels like buzzsaws are just like plowing through your body. Asherella's had stitches about 5 times. Wow. I guess it's not really something that, son has 15 staples in his scalp now due to a recent car accident. Don't be nervous. Well, Betty, it's easier said than done, but I'll do my best to try. JD, don't know if you're aware, Top 10 mentioned you the other day in a video. It was really cool. Was it just, could you maybe send me a link to that or something? I haven't watched a couple of videos in the past couple of days. I've been writing and editing stories and trying to get over the nervousness for this, and I've had a few days. I had a real fun time putting together that video for yesterday, but I've had 2 videos out this week and now my live stream, so I think I'm kind of getting back into the groove. Hopefully I can keep that going. Hey KOC, do you like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoons? Yes, I like the original, or at least the one that was real famous in the late 80s, early 90s. I really enjoyed that too. Deja Vu, hey KOC, I hope you're doing well and having a wonderful holiday season. I'm having a pretty decent time right now, thank you. No, we shouldn't be there. Hey, we shouldn't be there. How you doing? One of the, I think, better channels on YouTube. One of the better horror narration channels. Hope you're doing good. Most Amazing Top 10 has mentioned me before. In fact, they did a video. I think it was, if I'm not really sure, it was a Halloween video, and they mentioned me twice in one video. But the thing about that is that they did the same thing that Chills did. Chills has mentioned me a few times too, but when he does, it's like I post the stories on Reddit. So whenever you're listening to my videos, if you want to read along with them, you can read along with them on Reddit. And it seems like people find those stories and then they tell them on their channels as if they happened to me. And I always have to go to there, and people are always like, oh my god, Killer Orange Cat, did that really happen to you? I'm like, no. It happened to somebody, and I told the story, but it didn't happen to me. But yeah, but I definitely, every time that I've ever heard my name come up on a channel that's not a friend of mine, it's been like a complete surprise to me. I'm like, a double take. It's like, wait, did I just hear what I thought I heard? So, but yeah, I'll like to see any mentions that I have from people that I don't know personally. Okay, well, see, that would be good if they mentioned that it was just a story that I told. That's a little preferable for me, because normally I have to go there and correct them. And no, people, I don't live a life that's been so frightening that all these things have happened to me. I mean, seriously, if somebody goes to that Reddit and reads all the stories there, and since I tell them all in the first person, if they and they think that all this stuff happens to me, I'd have the most unlucky life, or maybe the luckiest life, depending on how you want to think about it. Maybe the luckiest life that I would live through all these things, or the unluckiest life that I'd have them all happen to me. But yeah, it's I think it has a lot to do with just me telling them in first person. But all of us do that, so all of us narrators do that. Missed my rotator cuff by mere hairs tissue damage. Yeeks. One morphine blue knocked me out for 11 hours. I've never had morphine. I think the strongest thing I've ever had was probably Vicodin, and that was by accident. I was actually it was when I was a teenager. I had like a really, really bad headache, and I couldn't find any pills, and went into my mom's room and there was a bottle of Advil in there, and I'm like, okay, Advil, that'll work. And so I'm like, well, this is a pretty strange looking Advil. And I took it, and 10 minutes later, I was like all happy and I told my mom, I'm like, wow, Advil's great. And she's like, what? I said, oh, I had a headache earlier, and then I just took one of those pills in your room with the Advil, just wiped it out like that. She's like, yeah, that's not Advil. I don't know why. I mean, to this day, I don't know why she would have put a Vicodin in an Advil bottle. Even if she gets prescribed a Vicodin for something, like maybe a tooth removed, she doesn't take anything like that. She won't take it. She'll just keep it until it expires and then, dispose of it. For some reason, it was in an Advil bottle. And, yep, it wiped that headache away in a very short amount of time. But yeah, that was the only time I've ever had anything like that, and it was by accident. But I've never had a serious dog bite, thank God. I can't imagine how much pain you're feeling there, but or how much it would feel. How it would. I gotta calm down. When I get excited, I talk really fast. Genevieve, hi, back. JD, I found the 2 videos of top 10 that I watched. It's about scary sleepover stories. Well, great. Yeah, if you send me those links, I'd love to hear them. It's just not only it gets a good like little rush to hear you talked about, but it also kind of helps my ego just a little bit, makes me feel a little bit more confident about what I'm doing. Confidence has always been a huge thing with me, and that's probably why I get nervous before going on to these streams. Is that it's not something I'm used to doing. I get to record whenever I want to, and then edit and do this and do that, and streams pretty much just go wherever they go. I pretty much let the chats guide me, or if somebody breathe, or if somebody is going to be in the chat with me, which we haven't had for a while. I would actually like to find people like that to do that again, because I remember once I had a 13-hour stream with me, and I forget who was in the stream with me, but we just talked and talked and talked and talked and just never got sick of talking. I'm breathing. I'm okay. See, that 11 minutes passed very, very fast there. Oh, 3 days before Thanksgiving. Okay. That was just a tiny bit ago. But yeah, I think I got bit by my collie once when I was a kid, and I was so young I bit her back, and then I felt bad about it. So, other than that, I get love bitten by cats all the time, especially when I grab Drusilla's hindquarters and shake them and go, shake, 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 shake your booty, and she gets really mad at me, and she love bites me to get her to quit. She'll just put her teeth on me and she'll be like, you better stop shaking my booty. It doesn't work though, I keep doing it. And then I call her Grumpy Puss, because she can be quite the grumpy puss. But, hello, Jack. But yeah, Drew, the thing about Drew is you can never really tell with her when she's happy or when she's not, because she makes a lot of unhappy sounds when she's happy. And, well, Kevin, you don't have to call me KOC. You can call me Jacob or Jacob if you want. It's that works too. Most people know that's my name. But yeah, Drew kind of likes to make. Well, Drew's a very strange cat, which is why I like her. Kind of really get along with her pretty well. She likes me. If she ever gets mad at me, she lets me know. But I don't think it made her too mad yet. I think I mostly make her mad when I don't spend time with her, because sometimes I can't spend time with her, like when I'm writing or when I'm working on a video, because she won't let me work on the video. If I let her in my room while I'm working on a video, she will move all over my hands, rub. She would, if I try to move or change hands, she'll walk over to the hand that I'm using to either type or record, or if she gets really angry, she'll start meowing while I'm recording. So I have to keep her away from me when I'm doing that, and that's what she doesn't really like. Yeah, my name. I have no problem with people knowing my name. But most people just say KOC, so that's easy enough. Loli the Furry Hurry Enthusiast. Hello. Or Wolf back. KOC, I'm not sure how to send you a link. Well, if you look in the description of any of my videos, they'll have my email address. It's foxbarking, FOXBARKING 44 at gmail.com. And that's the best way to get that to me there. But cats are just like that. I remember trying to do homework and our cat would lie down on my textbook. Yeah, Drew, if anything in the world is going on that's not her, she's not happy about it. So, and a lot of times I have to make sure she knows that. And being that there's so many cats around here, the less time she gets attention, she gets so much more mad at me. JD, you're very welcome, and thank you for not only telling me that, but sending me the links. I'll enjoy looking at that once I'm done here. What's my favorite horror villain? That's a good question. You know, I probably would have told you a long time ago growing up that it would have been like Freddy Krueger. I, I really enjoyed him a lot. Some of the things, as time goes on, have become a little not as warm to him, I guess, as I had been before. Um, but if we're talking about any of the more modern ones, I'd have to say that he still has this thing where he was always interesting to watch. You kind of root for him to win, you kind of root for him to lose. You can hate him and like him at the same time, and he can go from being goofy to serious pretty quickly. So, I'd like to say CandyMan would rank up there, but the problem is that other really than the first movie, I mean, the sequel was just kind of weird. I'm not sure if they made more than one sequel or not, but I don't really remember much about the first sequel. And I like the movie so much, the original Candyman. I think, which I'll be talking about soon, what my feelings on it is such a pretty deep film. I think that there's no way they really could have just made a horror sequel to it that could come anywhere close to living up to what it was like. Jess, love the last video you did. Thank you. Is that the one with Hood Horror and the Grimtail Brothers? If anyone listened to that, I haven't gone through the messages yet, the comments. I'll do that later tonight. But I would like to know what everyone thinks of Hood Horror. I like how he ad-libs, and it seems a lot like he's telling a story just right there in front of you. And when he did the Orson Welles narration voice for the Dracula play, I just liked it. There was just something about the ad-libbing he did. It was very casual. It made me feel very comfortable. But not only that, it seems like the kind of guy I thought could tell you a story. And it just seems really real, like he's telling you the complete and utter truth, whether he is or he's not. And that's why I wanted to include him. I'll have him on another video too, because he sent me 2 stories, but they were both 15 minutes long. And that would have been, if I put them in the video, that would have been 45 minutes, and a half hour of it would have been him. Grimtail Brothers would have been 5 minutes, and 10 minutes would have been me. And I've gotten complaints when I've done stuff like that before, so I'm going to even it out a little bit better. But I'll include him again. You couldn't get into Hood Horror, to be honest? Oh, that's understandable. I'm not saying anything against him, but I know some people would like him, some people wouldn't. I'll probably do something in the future. The next few videos I'm going to do are just going to be me, though, unless Mortis Media wants to do a Christmas video again, like we have done for many, many years. But for the most part, I'm just going to be doing sort of my own videos for the next few weeks and stuff. I really want to continue and get into a habit of regularly putting out just my own content. And I've done a lot of collabs over the past few months, so I don't mind doing collabs. So if anybody hears me and wants to do a collab, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. But for the next few weeks, it's probably just going to be me. So we'll see what happens. I appreciate the feedback. Or usually the true stories are comforting and they put me to sleep and are relaxing. I've heard people say that before. I have a friend who never comes into these live streams, but he always listens to me right when he's going to sleep. And, I can't really do that. I might listen to other horror narrators, and I will Sometimes I'll just listen for hours, and I do it for many reasons because I enjoy it and to make sure I'm not repeating stories. But usually, right before I go to bed, I have to listen to something else, like something funny, an episode of Frasier or something like that. Cats are cool friends, but sometimes they can be a bit of a pain. I can say that because I'm in my bedroom and I'm protected from them right now. Have I ever had a sleep paralysis or a paranormal experience? Oh yeah, I've had Well, I should explain my thing about this, and it'd probably be more in about of explain a lot of things that I may not explain very well. One of the problems I've had, and this has been something that kind of goes back, is I've had I take medicine for seizures. I've only had a few full seizures, but I've had a lot of partial seizures in my life, and partial seizures generally are accompanied with me with audio hallucinations, such as uh, some things that are really weird would be like a very common one is someone running into my bedroom and slamming the door and standing there screaming at me, but there's nobody there. Um, and now, don't get me wrong, I don't get these often because I do take medication for them. But as far as sleep paralysis goes, and those sort of things, I don't think I've ever had a real visual hallucination or anything like that. I have had sleep paralysis where I was sleeping and I know my eyes were open. And for example, once when I was at my grandma's house and I was sleeping in their attic bedroom, hey there, Scooby. Happy holidays to you too. And I was sleeping, and I saw my mom walking up the stairs, and saw her standing there, but I was still asleep, but I knew she was there. And she said something. I woke up and scared the crap out of me, and I jumped right out of the bed, and I'm like, she's like, what just happened? I said, were my eyes open when you came up? And she's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I was still asleep. Now, my mom is somebody who suffered from tons and tons of sleep paralysis in her life, so she understood immediately, of course. But when I was a kid, we'd go into her room sometimes, and she'd just be kind of lying there all phased out because she would get it so often. But yeah, I never had any visuals as far as that goes. I mean, the only I had I'm not going to really go into too much of the paranormal stuff because I have talked about it a lot. But if you want to read or listen to a paranormal experience of mine, you would want to listen to a video of mine. It should be one of my earliest videos. It's called The Apartment. And that will explain a period of things that happened to me over about 6 months. Now, the problem is that before then, I did not know that I had the partial seizures at that point in time. So everything could be explainable through partial seizures. So that kind of leads me to believe that maybe nothing paranormal was going on. Big Kev, what's the one piece of gear you need that will improve your videos besides a new computer? Well, I have a new computer, so my mom bought me a new computer, so that's good. I I got the microphone that I got a nice microphone, as you know, because you got that for me as a present. Other than that, I don't really know because I don't know things. I just have microphone, computer, so I don't know. Freddy or Jason? Definitely Freddy for me. Although I gotta admit, watching Freddy versus Jason, I kind of rooted for Jason at certain parts of it because Freddy is kind of a douchebag. So, hey there, pretty flowers. I hope you're doing good. You're not too late. I'm probably gonna go and do this make this be an hour and a half altogether, so I'll be here for a little while. There we go. Michael better than. Oh, yeah, Michael Myers. What did I think about that? See, that's how my brain works. I would prefer Michael Myers over Freddy or Jason. And one thing I really love about the Halloween movies is there's so many different directions that they go in. You could say Halloween, the first movie, stands on its own. Or you have Halloween and Halloween 2. None of the other movies count. Or you have Halloween, Halloween 2, then 4, 5, and 6 count as one arc or one direction, and that's it. Or you can say Halloween 1, 2, and H2O. There's another one, another line. Or Halloween 1, 2, H2O, and Resurrection. There you go again. Or you can go Halloween original, forget all the sequels except for the most recent Halloween. And that's what I like about it, is they have the so many different directions. And the Rob Zombie ones, I didn't like the first one. I liked the second one, but I thought it shouldn't. I thought the second one was a really good movie, but it didn't have to be a Halloween movie. If they would have, it seemed like all they did there was put the character names on the characters of a better story. So, what do I want for Christmas in general? You might be doing a better job asking Christina about that. I'm never really good at that. Actually, I'm kind of surprised that she's not here right now. How about Hellraiser? I like the first two Hellraiser movies. I like the first one, just because it's so. At the time, it was just nothing like that was really coming out. The second one is so utterly campy and such horrible special effects that it's just fun to watch. Oh yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As long as you go for the first one, I don't really care for the other ones. Didn't like the sequels to those either. But yeah, and that's one thing I was going to talk about when I wanted to start talking about what I thought about CandyMan. The reason that I kind of got into this, it is good. But I prefer. I may be one of the few people to say this, but I prefer the TV series over the recent movies, and the reason behind that is that Pennywise was scary because he was a clown, not because he looked like a clown. He was a clown. In the original one, he acts like a clown. He does clown stuff that's scary. The Pennywise in the new movies simply is a monster that looks like a clown. He doesn't act in any way like a clown. He just looks like a clown. And I think the new movies really, really failed to do anything for me because they miss the entire point of what makes something scary. Something is scary because of what it is. Something is scary because what its nature is, not just the way that it looks. And the Pennywise from the new movies was not a clown. He was just a guy dressed that looked like a clown, and it just didn't work. A better movie, I might agree that it was a better made movie, but they just really didn't. They really dropped the ball when it came to portraying Pennywise, in my opinion. I just could not get into that. Let me see. Hello, Crystal. I'm looking through a couple things here. I might be missing some things, people. Christine mentioning my true chainsaw stories. When I had the idea for the true chainsaw stories, I thought, wow, this one's going to do really good. Whoops, sorry. Anyone hear that? Kind of went out there for a second. My apologies. Five Nights at Freddy's, I've never had any interaction with that. I apologize. Well, Christine, I am really happy that anyone who compliments that Chainsaw Stories video makes me very happy. That I was really, really, really proud of that. And I thought it'd take off more than it did. I was kind of disappointed, and it kind of got a lackluster response, but that's alright. As long as anybody enjoyed it, that's good for me. the original script for The Lost Boys was based on Peter Pan. He never grew up because he's a vampire. Well, I guess I can understand why they did that. And then called it that, too. But, the idea of I guess always the idea of a vampire being a kid and never getting to grow up has always been kind of disturbing ever since I first read Interview from the Vampire. Interview with the Vampire. The idea of just being stuck as a kid forever kind of really disturbed me a bit. Have I seen the new Rambo movie? No, I have not. Doesn't mean I won't, but I have not at this point. And speaking of Clive Barker movies, I asked a friend of mine this the other day, and I was very curious. How many people in the room has ever seen Nightbreed? That is a weird movie. Just weird because I always saw the movie poster for it and got one certain idea out of looking at it, but then the movie just was completely not like I could have imagined it was. Hi there, Patty. But it was I can't say it wasn't good in a way, but it was really hard for me just to get over how strange it was. It was just a very, very strange film. But if anybody has seen it and can agree with me, yeah, that was a weird, weird movie. In the Mouth of Madness, I've seen that. I did like that too. I think that it had some problems delivering. I think I would have made the movie a little bit different myself, but I did like it. Kev, Nightbreed was great. The written story was much better, though. I haven't read it. But I hear something, since I will be talking about CandyMan, is I did read the story that CandyMan is based off. It's called The Forbidden. And it was, if you haven't seen or haven't read The Forbidden, it's just a strange story, especially after watching CandyMan, because the story only goes up to the point where she sees CandyMan in the parking garage, and he's nothing like in the movie. He's white, blonde, wears like a Technicolor dream coat sort of thing. The story is just kind of wonky. I've read, as far as reading Clive Barker, I've read The Forbidden, I've read The Hellbound Heart, and I actually really thought that was great. And I think I've read another one of his short stories, but I'm not really sure. His writing's a little dry for me, so I've always had a little bit of a problem with it. Let me see. Pretty Flowers. Have you ever seen The Changeling? Is that the movie with George C. Scott? Because if that's the movie with George C. Scott, then yes, I have seen that. And I think that if people who have not seen that and would like to see a real nice ghost story, I thought The Changeling was very, very, very good. Cujo sucks. Sorry, I hate movies where bad things happen to dogs. It's hard for me to think of Cujo as that dog anymore since I named my cat that. Hello, Slumber Reads. Am I late to the party? No. Started about half an hour ago. I'll probably go for another hour. Answering questions now before I haven't talked about CandyMan at all, which I am definitely going to do. And I think I remember when I was younger and I first saw CandyMan, and I really just kind of thought it was a movie about, a scary guy who, says you say his name 5 times in the mirror and he kills you. And I watched it as an adult, and then I'm like, wow, I think a lot of people may be missing a lot of the deep stuff in this movie. And I found it to be very, very deep and very, very interesting. Who's your favorite Smash Brothers mains? Oh Lord, you might find this surprising, but I actually usually use Bowser quite a bit, actually. I love the Philip Glass scene, the music, the haunting music. Yes, I love it. The can't really explain it, of course, but we all know the Candyman music. It's really great, and yes, Tony Todd deserves a lot of respect. Funny thing is the Eddie Murphy was the original choice to play the Candyman, which was pretty good that they did not go that direction. Um, Tony Todd, of course, was perfect for it, but as I've seen and wanted to explain what I thought, that a lot. It was about maybe 6 years ago. I was hello Finn Anime Central. Is that what it says there? Hey there. I'm a little bit far away from the monitor, so I'm gonna squint my eyes a little bit there. But nice to see you. But oh, okay. Loli, have a great day. So, hope I didn't miss you before you got out. But yeah, so I'm squinting a little bit every now and then. So if I miss something, I apologize. I'm going to try to answer as much as possible. And if I give stuff away for the whole Candyman thing, I apologize. But I was actually watching American Horror Story. And that's when I had heard the Candyman score being played during it. And I thought, oh, wow. Well, that's kind of weird. Don't I know that music from somewhere? And I'm sitting there listening. I'm trying to figure it out, and finally I go back and I see that, oh, that's from Candyman. It's like, oh yeah. So, well, I haven't seen that movie in years. Maybe I'll go watch it again. So I watched it again, and I just realized that it wasn't the same movie that I saw when I was a kid. It wasn't just a movie about some scary guy who. Oh, good night, Elgie. Hope you enjoy listening tomorrow. Sleep well. It wasn't the same movie. For me, watching the movie as a kid, and I think a movie that a lot of people who might not watch it, they see a movie again about a killer who kills people and blames. He comes up behind you when you say his name in front of a mirror and just kills people. Scary. But there's so much more to it. The story I did about Keiko. Yes, that sounds familiar, but again, it's hard for me to pick it off the top of my head because I do have lots of stories, so. But I will check it out. I'll let you know. I'll message you back as soon as when the stream's over and I get to hear it. I'll message you back about it. So we'll see about that. So thank you. And yes, I agree, immunity. It is heartbreaking tale, but what I saw about it is, first off, I don't think he was an existent person who was killed and had hooks stabbed into his hand. I don't think that he was. I thought that was just a story, just like any urban legend. And what made him real? What made him exist are the fact of the stories that get told. I thought that was really what was behind that movie, was that the stories sort of brought him to life in a way, not as physical life as much as it was the fear. Something they did in the Freddy versus Jason movie where it was fear that made Freddy strong. Candyman became what he was, powered off people's fear. He was a thought that was created by people. And my thought process about it was, of course, Helen comes in there. She's checking everything out, and she digs a little bit too deep into what's going on, and she gets attacked by the guy who's calling himself Candyman. So she exposes him as, a fake. He gets arrested. He's probably going to go to prison. So I think the pivotal part of the movie is when she's talking to the little boy outside in the police station when he's scared that Candyman's going to get him, and she tells him, Candyman isn't real, it's just a bad guy who's used his name. So what she did is she's taken the story and she's ruined it in a way. And now he doesn't have the fear that gave him the strength that he had before. So he needs to find something different. Now, a lot of people say that the movie was that he was a real person and that Helen was the reincarnation of the woman that he had slept with and fell in love with back in the 1880s or the 1880s before he was killed. But that doesn't really make sense, because if you watch the movie, when she goes into the room at the end of the movie and she sees the graffiti where it has a picture of her, it says, "It was always you, Helen." That wasn't there before. See what Candyman's trying to do at that point? Well, see, I don't think she really was the reincarnation. I think that's the story Candyman wanted people to know. He had to create a new story. Helen thinks that he's just trying to frame her for these murders and ruin her life, but what he's doing is he has to create a new story, and the new story will make people scared. So the new story is that this woman has gone crazy after studying about him, and she could be the reincarnation of his past love. She kills people when she's trying to study him, and she gets locked up for it. But not only does she get locked up for it in a psychiatric ward, she somehow inexplicably escapes, and this sows all this fear back into the people. So now people are not only scared of her, but they're even more scared of Candyman again, because her studying him has made this happen. So they're both involved at this point. It's not just Candyman's story anymore, it's Candyman and Helen's story. And what his plan was to have them and the baby, all three, die and get burned in the bonfire at the end of the movie. However, Helen gets away, saves the baby, and Candyman burns into ashes inside the bonfire, and Helen dies. And then you got the end of the movie at Helen's funeral, where everybody from Cabrini Green comes in and they drop the hook down into her grave. Now, what has happened here is that the whole story at that point has become about Helen. Candyman's idea about it being about both him and her has failed. She's become the central point. She's the new person that, because of everything that's happened, that the people on Cabrini Green, I can't say that so well, both fear and respect. And that's why in the end, when Trevor says her name 5 times, that she shows up, that was never what he intended to happen. He intended it to be their story, and it just became her story in the end. And it's that fear that made her the new legend in that area. And that's how I've always seen it. Now, I want to say hi to Liquor Store Girl. I saw her there. I didn't want to stop what I was saying, because I was really getting into what I was describing there, and I didn't want to lose my train of thought. But hello, the Liquor Store Girl, and if I missed anybody else who came in while I was talking, I apologize. Oh, sorry about that, Claire. But yeah, hey, John, how you doing? Nice to see you. But that's not my entire outlook on the movie. It would probably work if I would have found someone else who'd had deep thoughts about the movie to come on and discuss it with me because we could exchange ideas about it. But I don't know. It's just to me, it's so deep about that. It's just such a great commentary on fear and what fear gives life to. You just think about it, how much more powerful people that scare us are. And I think it's a great sort of allegory about that. Now, I have absolutely no idea if any of that was intended with the story. I mean, we'll never really know. And they won't even tell us. And, but it's nice to speculate on. And what do I think makes Candyman succeed and maintain a classic horror film, even in 2019? I would say that the fact that you can keep watching it over and over again, and it preys upon some of the baser fears, which, urban legends often do, even though it's not a real urban legend, but that's why urban legends, folklore, are so successful and they stand the test of time, is they prey and they build off basic fears. And Candyman does that as well. I mean, the fear of not knowing the consequences of what are going to happen if you bravely try something, or something just as simple as going into the dark and, saying someone's name 5 times in front of a mirror. But yeah, Immunity Zero, if you want to. I mean, it's a little late for this week, but if you want to join me, next week in my stream to discuss a movie or something, I'd be happy to have you. Maybe then you can offer a counterpoint to what you think. We can continue within, so it might be a little bit more fun to discuss with more than one person. So feel free. Let me know though. No, I'm not a badass narrator. I'm just here. But yeah, it's the basic fears. Base fears are always going to be the ones that the fear of the dark, the fear. That's why the fear of what might be inside your closet, the fear what's under the bed. Those fears really work, and I think that if they continue, those are the ones that really can get to you. And I think that when people make movies or write stories with those sort of fears, it works very well. When did you see Aeromac? Didn't think Candyman was that scary of a movie. Maybe I need to watch it again. When did you see it? I saw it the first time a long time ago, and I again didn't get it, in my personal opinion, the first time I saw it, but it capitalized on a fear that I've had, so it's something that scared me a whole lot. Scooby, my cell internet is acting up, so if I come and go, I'm sorry. I'm listening though. Well, I'm glad you're listening, and I hope it sticks through. Yeah, not a long time ago, me either. Well, I don't know. Maybe watch it again and tell me if it's changed anything for you, because the first time that I saw it was as a teenager, and I did not watch it again until a few years ago. Again, when I heard it on American Horror Story, I heard the music, and that's why I watched it again. But I think I was 17 when I first saw it, and again at 17, I was looking for scares, immediate scares. I was not looking for long-term scares. And Candyman, in my personal opinion, has a lot of long-term scares. And when I decided to revisit it, when I was watching American Horror Story and heard that music, I appreciated it so much more when I revisited it. And it became an entirely different film that I'm obviously obsessed with. I posted a really long, back in the day when you can go onto the Internet Movie Database and actually have message boards. I posted my review of it, but not only my review of it, but I went into an in-depth interpretation of it and then they deleted the board, so the interpretation is gone. And I've always been a little bit upset about that because I don't have a copy of that anywhere. But it is something that has fascinated me, and will probably continue to fascinate me. I think I see something new in it every single time that I watch it. So, and there aren't a lot of horror movies that are like that. And so when one comes along, it it says a lot. I mean, right now a lot of the best horror is coming out in stories like on YouTube videos. Some places, it's you don't get them as much. I haven't seen a movie that really scared me in quite a while. Um, Let me see though. What's a horror film or story that's relatively unknown or slept on by most people would you recommend? For me, it would be The Gate or Happy Birthday to Me. Hmm. Let me think about that. Relatively unknown horror movie. You think I would be able to pull some of these things off the top of my head, but I'm not doing a good job because still, as I mentioned before, the live stream still makes me a little bit nervous. So let me think about that. But I'm pretty sure there's some really good ones. I remember a movie that I had seen not long ago that really kind of just gave me the ooze. I remember what it was. It would probably be something that wasn't really well known. Uh, but I'll check through some things. If I find some things, I can post them. I'm just not having anything that's popping up into my head at the moment. The Changeling was mentioned earlier. That was really good. I absolutely adored that movie. Um, I No pressure. Cannibal Rising. Wow. Wait. Phantasm. Yeah. Phantasm. I'm probably one of the few people you might ever meet that like the entire Phantasm series, but Phantasm, the first one, in my opinion, is an utter masterpiece. Um, I don't think scary in any way, but definitely a masterpiece of a movie. I just love the fact that you watch the movie and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And I don't think no matter how many times you watch it, you never really know exactly what the heck's going on. You're Next. I liked that, actually. I enjoyed Your Next. I should answer Scooby, though. Cannibal Rising, I don't think I've seen that. Was that one of those cannibal movies from the late 70s, early 80s? How Spoilers Bleed by Clive Barker. Don't know that one. Ready or Not. Well, I'll be going through some of these that I'll be able to look at later. The Woman in White. Yes, I saw that as a teenager. I found that to be a little frightening. Have I seen the movie Kroll? Yes, many, 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 many times. Kroll is one of my, what I like to call, comfort movies. One of those movies you put on in the background while you're doing stuff because you've seen it so often, you can just continue to watch it over and over again. Absolutely loved it. The Lady in White, I don't know. It wasn't really scary as much, but I enjoyed it. I remember it was on TV or something. There might be a few movies with that name, so I don't 100% know if I know it's the same thing that I'm thinking of. Um, and a lot of times I get some things mixed up in my head, but yeah, Kroll I've seen many, many times. I always just love that movie. I've actually never seen The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I It's one of those ones I've always meant to see, but I can't. I try to not watch a lot of movies about exorcisms because I have a bit of problems with my OCD. My OCD. I have a form of OCD called scrupulosity, and a lot of religion-based horror uh, makes me really, really anxious, and so I tend to avoid it as much as possible. But funny thing is that most times I would probably be able to spin off like 1,000 movies to tell you that I love them right now. But Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House. I have not. I have not seen that. I've seen the original movie, which I know the movie The Haunting of Hill House, which I know my sister, it said really scared her when she was younger. And then the absolutely awful remake they made out of it. I go, what the heck are you guys doing there? But yeah, I'll check that out. I've been looking for a new show to watch anyways. What would you think of a Quentin Tarantino directed horror movie? I think the way he does tension is perfect for the genre. Well, honestly, I think he probably could do it. He did he did Death Proof, which, while not a horror movie, definitely had horror qualities to it, and it was a really, really, really good movie. Deliverance, very good. Some really kind of freaky stuff happened in that. Word Processor of the Gods from Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah. But then I'm a big Tales from the Dark Side fan anyway, so. I'm sorry, no, I don't like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's, some of the animation disturbs me a little bit, so. And John Papa's so nice to me all the time, I'm not going to tell him how I feel about the movie The Fourth Kind. Because if he really likes it and I tell him what I think about it, he'll probably never talk to me again. The cerebral ones are the most scary. Yeah, I can agree. I can agree with that. Yeah. No, I've seen a lot of good horror movies over the past few years and stuff. A lot of them being much lesser known ones that I wish that I would be pulling them up in my head right now, but I'm not being able to. Well, Spore Loose. There's the one that was remade in The Vanishing. That one gives me the chills. Just to say, the thing about The Fourth Kind is I didn't like the fact that it was very misleading, claiming to be a true story when it's absolutely not. And that kind of just really drove me crazy. I don't like that. Planet Terror. I absolutely love Planet Terror. That was great. I remember I saw Grindhouse the day it came out. Never understood why that didn't do well. Everything in Grindhouse was just perfect in my opinion. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a movie about aliens that scared me. Last House on the Left, the original one, yes, that was one of those movies that I think is really, really good, but really, really, really would never want to watch again. Not because it's not good, just because it was dark and disturbing enough that I would not want to see it again. Fire in the Sky traumatized me as a kid. That I can understand. That I can definitely understand. Here's something that's really funny. You guys might get a kick out of this. There's certain times when things that you believe or things that you don't believe kind of like intersect with each other. Now, if anyone knows anything about me, I'm really skeptical about most things, including UFO encounters. As we all know, Fire in the Sky is claimed to be a true story. Now, I don't believe that it is. There's too many inconsistencies in the story, and the guy has just never come off as credible to me. Second, I don't like lie detector tests, polygraph tests. They're pseudoscientific nonsense. They don't work. They're just go on and on about it. I just hate lie detector tests. And I get annoyed by a lot of the really, really, really bad alien abduction stories that you can tell people are lying. So I think the guy from Fire in the Sky is lying through his teeth. Well, he took a lie detector test on that show, The Moment of Truth, and when they asked him, "Were you abducted by aliens?" it came up as a lie. So here I am, hating this guy from the movie who I think is a liar, yet hating lie detector tests, which tell me and him that he was a liar. So it was just like, oh great, that's wonderful. I finally have someone agree with me that this guy is full of it, and the someone that agrees with me is a polygraph test, which I don't like either. Great, wonderful. I'm just leaving right now, turn the TV off, I don't need to watch this anymore. But no, that really that really pissed me off. It was it's kind of like your two enemies, or the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But it's like, so what's the thing? Am I supposed to defend the guy that I think is a liar because I don't believe in polygraphs? Or do I say, ha ha ha, you got caught in a lie, but I can't say that because I don't believe the polygraphs either. So, oh, that was hard. That was a hard time. So, yep, the irony. It was. I've gone back and forth about that many times. That moment. Okay, The Mist. Actually, I did like it. I did like it. The twist ending, I think, was too tacked on. Um, Signs. Signs was really suspenseful in the theater. I saw it in the theater. Um, what about polygraphs? Oh, I don't know if you missed that, but um, I have a really strong aversion to polygraph tests. I understand them. There's really no proof that they do anything other than detect stress. But there's really no evidence, no evidence that they do anything, that they have any effect on telling if someone's lying or not. There's nothing that really shows that, and I don't like them. So if you missed that, Claire, when a lie detector caught somebody that I thought was lying in a lie, that's a difficult position for me to be in. LMC, what's up, KOC? Hey, hi, hope you're doing great. Even though you're a skeptic, how come four states have federal laws that make it a federal crime to kill, poach, or hunt Bigfoot? How can those laws be enforced if it doesn't exist? Well, they can't be enforced unless Bigfoot does show up to exist and gets killed. But no, I mean, you can't keep somebody from killing something that doesn't exist. Night, Brett. Hope you have a great night. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it very much. But yeah, that is a bit of a if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? It's pretty much like that question. If it's illegal to kill Bigfoot and Bigfoot doesn't exist, then how can you enforce that? I could see that. Have I seen the movie Ernest Scared Stupid? I have not. The Fog, the original Fog was great. Polygraph detectors, I see. I was just wondering if it had to do with horror movie topics. So, now we were talking about the movie The Fourth Kind, and then the movie Fire in the Sky. And I just went into my little annoyance with the guy who told that story, just because there are people I find more credible than not. He wasn't one of them, so I do have to find some new things to watch though too, because I did finish getting through all the American Horror Stories. And God, I really, 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 really think I liked every season of those. But that's thanks to Liquor Store Girl. I don't know if she's still in here or not. She just said hi and then kind of didn't see her again. But she works at the liquor store around here, and I'd only seen a couple of the American Horror Stories, and she had reminded me about it, so I went back and watched them all again. Um, and yeah, I really liked that show. And she didn't like the 1984 one. I enjoyed that. I thought that was great. You know, I well, thanks for the kind words, Christine. Now, my sister tried to get me to start watching Castle Rock, and I couldn't watch the first season, but I started watching the second season because she told me it was anthology, and I watched that and I absolutely adored that. That was a good series. If you haven't seen that, you might enjoy that. I don't know if this is too personal, but is this YouTube channel all you do? No, it's not. If I was able to keep up with it better and update it more often, I wouldn't mind being somebody who that was all that I did, but no, I am mostly a translator. I my degrees are in psychology, and mostly what I do is I translate psychology journal articles from English to Japanese, Japanese to English. Because since I'm fluent in Japanese and I understand all the psychological concepts, I can read the articles, peer reviewed articles, and I have an easier time translating them. Most of what I do are articles on suicide. So I don't talk about it much because it's really depressing work, and I don't really want to get people down too much by having to hear it. So, but I do that too. I probably spend I spend quite a bit of time every day listening to stuff in Japanese. I learned it in school. It was my in college. It was my language, and then when went to I started out in community college. It was my language. I when I went to the full year 4 year college, it became my minor. So with my undergraduate degree, my major was of course psychology, and my minor was Japanese, and it requires quite a bit of attention to continue with. So how about Howard the Duck? No, I didn't like that. Howard the Duck reminds me a lot of Alf. If I ever met them, I'd like to kick them because they're both really annoying, and I can't stand to how people could put up with them. So sorry about that. What 4 year college did you go to? Northern Illinois University, state college, but of course, coming from a pretty poor background, really couldn't do much else. So, um, but Northern Illinois University, Huskies, and yes, I was there. I was there when the incident happened in 2000, July on February 14th, 2008, and I actually wrote that nothing bad happened to me, but I was there in school when Cole Hall was attacked, and that guy, several people were killed. So, um, fortunately, I didn't. Again, I wasn't in any danger. I was in my room the entire time. So, when they put the entire place on lockdown. Most of my friends are my family, so I include you and Evil Black Cat. Well, thank you very much, Christine. I appreciate that very, very much. But yeah, I put that in one of my college stories. Not for anyone to feel sorry for me, because I don't want them to. Um, because again, I was completely safe. I was sitting there in my room, just looking I was looking at my grades. I think I was, because one of my teachers had put out the grades online or something. So I was on the website, and I was going to look at my grades for a test or something, and I automatically got redirected to the main page, and the main page was everybody telling everybody who was lived on campus to go for their rooms immediately and lock themselves in their rooms. If they're not, they were telling them other places to go, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then a couple of seconds later, a shooter has been identified in Cole Hall. Um, and my door was always bolted shut, anyways. But um, it was quite a disturbing experience, even though it didn't directly affect me having anything to do with it. So yeah, that was something. That was definitely something. And it oh yes, John Papa. Sorry, can I get a shout out for my birthday on Monday? It's birthday on Monday. Happy early birthday, and I hope you have happy extra early birthday and stuff, and have a great time. And on your birthday sites, contact me. Send me an email on your birthday. I'll send you something. Talk to you. When we talk to you for a little bit, we'll see what's going on. Mac, thank you very much for that $20 donation. If you actually saw the cats right now, you wouldn't think they look hungry, but they're Drew's actually getting a bit of a belly on her. I may have to watch her pretty closely, but I appreciate that. We appreciate it. I said donations I've got pretty much always go to helping out our cats, of which we have 8. But thank you. That's very generous. I appreciate it very much. Have I seen the movie called Legend? I think so. But if I did, it was maybe when I was a kid. And all I remember is the big weird thing with the horns. Oh, Swamp Dweller. Stopping by to show my support, KOC. Hope you're feeling well. Keep on being the awesome person you are. Thank you, Swamp Dweller. It's great to see you. Always great to see you. Always great to see somebody that I've always believed in from the beginning who does so well and is absolutely one of the best horror channels out there. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. So, did you go to graduate school after you finished your psych undergrad? Yes, I did. I have a PhD in cognitive psychology. But yeah, Kevin, you didn't have to say that word. Oh, he said the word. I can't look at the screen for a minute, guys, so I'm gonna have to wait to say something. Make the screen scroll, somebody, please, so I can read again. Kevin said the one word that sets off my OCD really, really bad. So, come on, scroll the screen, somebody. It's okay. You probably didn't. I'm guessing that you may not have known it's not your fault. But yes, kind of scroll the screen. So, I appreciate just make smiley faces and scroll down, up or something. No, don't, and it's nothing to be sorry about. No. I mean, if you knew it, I appreciate the apology. But if you didn't, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And hey there again, Swamp Dweller, and thank you again. You're good guy. I appreciate it so much. Okay, everything's fine. It's fine. Everybody, it's fine. Everybody forgets. But I'm not blaming you. It's just I wanted to explain why I couldn't look at the screen there for a second. It's that one word. That one word just drives me. It sets off my OCD, and I can't read it. So it's just kind of. I'm not blaming you, so don't feel bad about it. It's even nobody knows what that word does to me more than my sister, and she still sometimes says it by accident. So don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Let me see what I may have missed. I might have missed some stuff there, but I apologize. I'm not going to scroll back up. I apologize for that reason, and but. If I missed a question, or if I didn't answer your question, answer it. Just scroll around, and my mouse goes out. I'm the king of technical difficulties, I think. But yeah, no brakes on this train. Payment due? What does that mean? I missed that. I'm gonna assume something. I'm gonna keep going. How's the mom cat in Ichigo? Oh, stop it, Kevin. I told you it's not a big deal. It's just don't do it again. We'll be fine. All the cats are doing pretty good. The younger ones are, still obnoxious as hell. The older ones are quiet and nice and cool. Pepsi or Coke? I prefer Pepsi, except that if it's cherry flavored, I prefer Coke. Are you a dog person too, or a cat person, or both? I'm actually a ferret person. Oh, my trigger word: ferret payment due. No, that's not my. That's not my trigger word. No, no. I can't tell you what my trigger word is. If I say it, it'll drive me crazy. So, thank you, thank you. But yeah, and ferret person. Yeah, I love ferrets. I mean, it's it sometimes can be very difficult to be a ferret person because they don't have long lives. So when you really get attached to these little guys, they're not around very long. So it can be kind of heartbreaking. And they do require even more attention than cats do. But yeah, it's why you always make sure you have more than one. No, don't. And Mac, it does nothing to be sorry for. That was a really good. That was a really good messing with me. Actually, I got to give you like super thumbs up on that one. That's great. Everyone knows that KFC is a Lipton brisk man. Okay, he's right about that. I don't know what it is about those brisk Lipton teas. Wow, whenever I'm really, 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 really thirsty, there's like if there is a God, that's what He put on earth for me to drink when I'm thirsty. That is the most thirst quenching drink in the entire world. Look in the closet and under the bed. Killer orange cat in the house. Okay, that's clever. I like that. Okay, I'm better now. I'm better now. Brisk tastes like best in cans. What happened was KOC. Why are you in the dark? Am I? Oh, you mean because the screen's black? Yeah, I'm not really completely comfortable at this point in time, like showing up on the screen during the live streams. I'm still getting used to even talking on them. That makes me very nervous, as people have noticed. I will probably eventually do them where you could see me, but give me a little while to get used to doing them like this, talking to people in general, and that'll get me to the point maybe where I'm more willing to show up on screen. I'm just not quite there yet. So, but we'll see. If my dog saw a cat, they would probably chase it. Dorothy, I'm new. Love your videos. I have a black cat and Rottweiler. Love both. Well, hello, Dorothy. Welcome. And what are your cat and dog's names? Oh, Scooby, thanks for showing up. I hope you have a great weekend and a great week too. I have a few videos coming out, so hope to see you there. So maybe don't have a lot of time left, so maybe I should try to say what I might be doing as the week goes on. Killer Orange Cat is by far one of the sexiest guys ever. Well, I appreciate that. I can't argue with that either, so I won't. But I'm doing right now. I'm putting together a compilation of Christmas story videos. There should be about 6 of them. Probably be coming out on Monday. I was planning on tomorrow, but with the 2 videos I got out this week and now doing the stream, it might take me an extra day to get those out. So 6 scary Christmas stories. As usual with mine, my videos where I don't do collaborations, every story will be original. So that'll be out hopefully on Monday. Is there any chance the evil black cat might be running around the house filming cats while you talk? No. I hear her right now. She's sitting in her chair, watching her favorite YouTube channels. So, I'm usually the one that does most of the cat filming too. So, but she might show up. Do I already have a Christmas tree up? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And there'll probably be another one. I might put a small one up in my room just because I love Christmas lights. I like watching them. They're nice. Oh, I know. I know no one's judging. Right now, again, these are just kind of silly for me, a way for me just to talk to you guys and not feel like. I always feel so stiff at the end of a video when I do those little outros. So this kind of gives you guys a little bit more of a snapshot about what my personality is like. So, and this is really me. I mean, if you're hanging out with me in person for the most part, this is kind of what you're going to get. Although I tend to make a lot of feeble jokes. If anybody who's watched my Waverly Hills exploration video would see, that is exactly what hanging out with me in person is like. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, Kev. Well, I love you too. Thank you for that, which you didn't have to do. My memory sucks, so here's something to make up for it. Get your kitties something nice and tell Christina I said hi. Kevin, do not feel bad about saying that word. It happens. I'm not upset about it. It's just the only thing I did was want people to scroll through the room really quickly. But I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very generous. Much love for you back. You know that. You'll be my friend forever. Always care about you. Do my cats ever try to climb the tree? Oh yeah, and when they do, evil black cat gets mad at them, and only the young ones do that. The older ones will not go anywhere near it, but the young ones, even though they're all full grown, we still refer to them as the kittens. She'll yell at them, but apparently I think she's broken them of it. So, Mook Arts, hi, how are you? I hope you're doing good. Coming in pretty towards the end of the stream, but it's good to see you anyways. Christine would be nervous as heck. Yeah, well, I am a bit. But I'll get over it. So, and I value your friendship too. I value my friendship of most of the people that's been sticking with me for a long time. I love it. Really happy that so many people have stuck with me, even through the hard times, which there's been a lot over the past year. And I know there's been times where a couple weeks would go by where no one will hear anything from me, or somebody will ask me to do a video with them, and I'll be like, okay, I'll do that, but then I kind of lose track of a couple of days and some time periods and stuff. But, things have gotten a lot better. Things are good now. Things are really positive. And I'm glad that everyone that has stuck by me this entire time has continued to stand by me, and I appreciate that. And hopefully, from now on, we won't get any big delays and start building the channel back up a bit. Yes, the kitties do get up in the trees, but only the young ones. The old ones never do it. Do you meet any of your fans? I've had two people that I've met, and this would be Rebecca Adams, who was one of the first people to sub to me, and Brad Smith. Those would be the two people that I met, and we did the Waverly Hills exploration video. But other than them, I don't think I've met anybody in person. Oh, Reagan Cole, hugs, sending hugs back. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think the reason we stuck with you for so long is because you're such a great friend in person. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tell us about your decision to do YouTube. How did that come about? You've been one of my favorites for a long time. I'll go ahead and do that. Coming towards the end of the stream anyway. So people who might not know, I didn't really. Oh, Mugarts, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it very much. Thank you very, very much. Now, as I said, all these things go out to help our cats, who we have 8 of them, and so everything helps out a lot. I appreciate it. As far as why I started this, I didn't really pay a lot of attention to YouTube for a while, and it was around 2013. I was spending a lot of time by myself. That was when I I had like a whole summer where I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't didn't have any school going on. I got out of school, and I was trying to find something to do, and I came across some videos about that. I forget the name of it now. The supposedly haunted, run-down theme park in Japan. Something or other, Greenland. I forget what it's called, but I saw pictures of it. Something that was really, really freaky looking. So I became a little obsessed with it, and I started looking it up and trying to find out more about it. And that's when I discovered creepypasta stories, which I'd never, ever heard of before. And hey there, Mr. Haunted. I'm sorry if I'm missing things that people are saying right now, because I'm trying to do this explanation here. But yeah, so sorry if I miss anything. But if I catch it, I'll try to say hi to people. But so I started listening to some of the original narrators like Creepsnickpasta or Mr. Creepypasta, and I mean I still enjoy Creepypasta quite a bit. But doing that for a few years, I started listening to more and more narrators and noticing that a lot of the stories just kept repeating themselves. And it started getting a little frustrating for me. And don't get me wrong, I still love most of these big channels. But, when you hear one channel do a story and you go to another channel and you hear it again, I was like, well, maybe there's something I can offer that's different. Maybe I can just try to do a channel where I do my absolute best to have stories that are exclusive to that channel. So at least when someone comes to my channel, they'll know that the story they're having here, they won't, for the most part, get anywhere else. So that was why I decided to start the channel. And I also did it because I was kind of wishy-washy about it for a while. But when I was talking to another narrator before I became a narrator, who kind of dismissed me and my chances of accomplishing anything, but I was kind of like, oh, okay, you want to doubt me? Now I'm going to do this just to spite you. And I will not say who that person is. They don't come out with new videos anymore, but I've far exceeded what that person's ever accomplished. So a little bit of revenge made me feel kind of good about that too. Might be a petty way to have done something, but we're all allowed to have a petty moment once in a while. It's just human nature. Wasn't the only reason I started, but it was a catalyst right there when I was thinking about it. Sort of like the lighting the fire under my butt to actually put it all out there. And I'm glad that I did. I never in a million years would have thought that it would have become what it's become. I never thought that it would, I'd be doing, even with 31 people on live stream. Some old live streams I've gotten 100 people on. I get 31 people now, and I get thousands of people watching on videos. I never would have thought it would happen. But I appreciate it. And that's why I try to always get to everyone's comments on their videos, because I don't want to be that person that forgets who are supporting me. And it means a lot to me. And when I tell everybody, yes, that means a lot to me, you can always know that I'm absolutely telling you the truth, because it does mean a lot to me that you're all here. It means the world. So, thank you all. And that's probably a good note for me to go ahead and end on. And Mr. Haunted, it's going pretty good. I feel really great right now. I'm sorry that I'm ending right when you're coming in, but thanks for stopping by. It's really always great to see you. Haven't seen you in quite a while, so it's really, really good to see you. And Aeromac, I don't know about the Firefly. Not sure I know what you're talking about, the movie. So I'll look that up after I'm done here. But let me just say, for everybody, thank you very much for coming here. Thank you very much for putting up with me tripping over my words because of my nervousness. and thank everybody for their support. Thank everyone for the donations. Thank everybody mostly for your kind words and all the joy it brings me just from talking to you guys. You're all great. And I always love and appreciate you very much. Love you too, Crystal. Good night, Patty. Good night, John. Good night. Good night, OMC. I'll probably say good night to everybody if I give myself a chance to do it, so I better not do that. But Pretty Flowers, you are original and you are talented. Half of my family, including myself, understand OCD. Thank you for letting me join tonight. Well, thank you for showing up. And thank you, Aramac. Good night. And thank you, and peace and hugs for you, Christine. I will send out some tweets and some community tab information to let you guys know about the stream next week. Maybe I can get a couple of you guys to show up here and chat with me on microphone. Okay, night Christine, night Reg, Asherella, night Ginger Munchkin. Thanks for showing up, and I hope you all have a great night. Thank you again for showing up.